Dero and Bill, Adam Duvall, that signing, it didn't create a lot of headline, didn't create a lot of buzz, but man, that was an under-the-radar, very key signing for the Red Sox.
Lauren, we talk about this all the time, adding value, right? Adam Duvall is going to play as long as he wants to play because there are weeks throughout the course of a season where he puts the entire team on his back.
Wow. Get us a hit.
He can disappear for there's peak valley in that game, but he plays D, he can play center field. He shows up every day, you know exactly what you're getting, and on occasion he runs into 5 homers in a 3-game set and puts you on his back. So I know you wanted to dive in the whole feel versus real. We have a ton of these conversations.
Because when I watch you do your Vladdy thing today and you get excited about hitting, and I'm a believer before we start anything, I think most of the hitting goes up there in the brain. I know you like mechanics, you like looking at body stuff and things like that as it goes. And when I saw him hit that home run last night, let's just jump into a tape and appreciate what he's going to do and what he's able to do when we look at this. The extension that he gets and that buggy whip where he hits the ball out of the ballpark as quick as anybody. This one he goes down and smashes.
And he's down on that baseball.
And hits this ball out of the ballpark. But this one yesterday, when we get to the replay, Lucas, we're going to play with this a little bit because I want to talk about one thing mechanically. Freeze it for a minute. I want you to do, because there are hitters when we look at some part of this at bat, this will look like it leaves.
Yes.
It's got to clear sometime.
It's got to go at some point, but you want your hands to clear it,
but the longer it stays closed,
the better.
There are hitters in the game that can take this proverbial pitch out here at 95, right? And what is said sometimes, well, if the ball's away, you got to go away. My philosophy is if you're this dude, if the ball's away, you can't try to pull it. But your natural ability, if you stay on the baseball,
I'm feeling what you're selling right now,
you will do damage. So he doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like he's trying to go pull side. He just lets the ball get there and goes, yak!
Yeah.
Play a play.
Because I say, hold on, because I say this all the time, my biggest annoyance when I listen to youth coaches, I'm not saying I know everything, because I sure as heck don't, but when they're like, drive the ball the other way. How? How? Do you know how? Because I'd love to do it.
They don't.
But they don't. That's my thing.
Right.
So I get it. There is a stock swing that you are born with. I was a young kid in Little League.
You would hit that ball the other way.
I would hit that ball the other way.
Right.
That was easier for me to do than to pull it. But there are guys like Adam Duvall and guys that I play with like Mark DeRosa. They're pulling everything.
Right. And they stay on the baseball.
And they're great.
So
great players.
Play this forward and just appreciate. That's outer edge 95 that he left center. All right, Byron Buxton stays on the baseball. And I know he's got that kind of swing that everything's doing, but he stays on that.
Behind it.
That shoulder stayed closed an awful long time. That is an impressive homer. This dude, that's 92 up and away last year. That he jumps left center field in Wrigley because he stays on.
In the WBC, he's underneath and trying to work the ball the other way. And finally, he's like, you know what? No.
This thing.
Run that back.
I think we got a slow-mo. Keep going, Lucas, because I think we want the other angle of a replay.
Lefties, it's cheating. But
Was that the actual or was that the replay, Lucas? Because that's the one we want.
That was the actual.
Okay, freeze it, please. So here's a case right now. It's a 2-0 count.
Against a lefty.
Look at my man's front shoulder.
Yep.
And in some cases, we say, okay, we close ourselves off too much, right? Because we can see the 9-9. These guys make the game unfair to me because we were talking before we came over here. They can hit a ball out of right field because they get beat.
Yeah.
That's unfair.
Mountcastle did that the other day. It was like, off the pole.
They're big and they're strong dudes. But I think if you're staying on a 2-0 changeup that's outer part of the plate and you hit it to left center, he's not trying to pull it. I think the philosophy is if your idea is to hit a line drive off of that emblem and go right back up the box where it came from, these dudes that stay on the baseball a long time like Aaron Judge hits that upper changeup that's here and hits this thing to left center. Play it, please. And that's staying on a baseball a long time. I don't think he's trying to pull it.
So run that back real quick.
Because then we're going to get excited about your
Because then I'll take you through, like, my process coming off a Chipper Jones thought, right? So I'm sitting 2-0 off a lefty, four-seam heater middle away, and I am going to rush him right center. So you think of the batter's eye. I was talking to Paul Goldschmidt about this. He said, all I do is adjust what side of the batter's eye I'm feeling, how I feel I'm going to be pitched. If I'm going to be pitched away, I'm looking at the end of the batter's eye on the right-hand side. So that's what I would be focused on. And then it comes out, I'm attacking that. Oop, it popped, change up, walk the dog, 3-run Johnson.
So my question for you is, instead of maybe you thinking about spinning the pitcher's cap, you're thinking about spinning right center.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for that four-seamer at 88, out over the plate, and he throws you a changeup at 81, you could still go left center.
Yeah, you hopefully can do what he does.
All right, play that through and appreciate it, and then we'll get to Riley on that ball that he absolutely murdered the other day in St. Louis. Because these big, strong dudes, it's a little bit unfair. And I know that's middle, and 93. But once again, when we look at this replay, and we can slow Riley down a little bit, and yes, he pulled the ball. My part of the conviction, do we have that replay, Lucas? Nothing on that, but just track that so we can slow this thing down right here. Watch how long he stays closed with the front side. Just click it. That's a long time.
Look at that, right there.
And then it leaves.
Yeah.
And my concern is, and if we look at this board that we put together with these big donkeys, right? Because that's what they are. They're some big donkeys. Put this up here, and yes, it makes all the sense. Pull side is where we get our, damage and everything else. My fear is the way the game goes, is people talk about the pull side, 27-degree launch, 105 miles an hour is the most productive swing you can have. That creates at a lot of different levels, and it will filter down to youth baseball, where kids' first movement is doing this to pull off, right, open up to get this one cookie and hit this one cookie up there. But that leaves this all open.
Once these kids start to see anybody who could locate a slider or a curve, half of them are dead. That's where they disappear.
Wow,
it was just fun to watch, Robert. When we watched that thing the other day with Duvall hitting that 95 on the outer edge that way.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just because this stays in longer, and I think he has a sound approach. You said it, he's streaky. When he gets hot, guarantee one thing happens, the ball's bigger. It's bigger to him, right? He sees it, and he knows what he wants to do, and bam, that way, gone.